Now to trade tensions. The Trump administration imposing a fresh round of tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods, sparking immediate retaliation as Beijing vows to bite back. The tariffs will start at 10%, go into effect next Monday, before climbing to 25% on January the 1st. President Trump teasing the announcement yesterday, promising to reverse years-long unfair trade practices.
I have a lot of respect for China, but last year we lost $375 billion in deficits. We'll be announcing something, and it will be a lot of money coming into the coffers of the United States of America, a lot of money coming in.
Here now is Republican strategist Kevin Scott. Kevin, your reaction to this, because, again, Republicans back in the day would call this a tax.
Yeah, and I think it is a tax on American consumers. I think this, when we look at the reality of the situation, a lot of Republicans were giving the president a pass early on. They believed this talk that he was going to be negotiating. This was a tactic to bring China to the table. I think some still believe that. But for most people, if we get to this 25% level, it's going to really hit the bottom line of middle-class America. So overall, as a tactic to bring them to the table, this is good. What it actually means for American consumers could be really bad. So if we don't see action soon from China, I think you're going to see a lot more people very concerned about the president's tactics here.
Kevin, you're talking about how it could be very bad for American consumers, but couldn't this be very good for American businesses who's had their IP stolen? They're forced into 50-50 joint ventures over in China. We know China is actually trying to become dominant in a lot of our sectors and industries by their 2025 plan. So isn't this a good thing for the overall economy, because now the American businesses can actually keep a lot of their intellectual property?
It 100% is, if we bring them to the table. If they don't budge and we end up with just a tariff without China coming to the table and actually changing practices, I don't think it matters. And I think that's why the president's stepping this up. You're exactly right. He's going to try to force them into actually making changes in practices. They haven't done it so far, and that's my concern.
Hey, Kevin, Lindsay Bell here. Just a question on the timeline here. 10% tariffs going into effect on Monday. We've got the midterm elections just right around the corner, and then the 10% turns into 25% at the beginning of the year. What do you think the strategy is within the Trump administration for resolving issues with China, or is there no strategy, and we're just going to wait it out to see if they do come to the table?
No, I think they have a strategy. I think that's why they announced the 10% and they announced the escalating to 25% further out. We know that President Trump will be with the president of China in November at the G20 summit. I think the idea is to try to put a little more pressure on them now, bring them to the table, and hopefully resolve this before January. If that happens, I think it's a positive thing. If we're sitting here talking in January about 25% tariffs rolling out, I think we're going to see a whole lot more issues. And I do think it's strategic that happens after the midterm elections.
But, Kevin, is it a win for this administration? You've already gotten the Mexican half of NAFTA renegotiated. And, again, there's kind of a loose deadline this week in terms of the negotiations with Canada. But if you can bring that deal together and have a new NAFTA, if you will, that would be a major win, not just for businesses and consumers, but this president.
The NAFTA deal will be a huge win, but I don't think this administration is going to be satisfied with just renegotiating NAFTA. They believe that China is such an essential trade partner that we're importing so much from China that to just renegotiate NAFTA alone is not enough. So that's why I think you see the president continuing to focus on the issue with China.
And you had Alibaba chairman Jack Ma say on Tuesday that trade frictions between the U.S. and China could last for 2 decades and would be a mess for all parties. 2 decades, again, based on term limits, President Trump will not be in the White House. That's the issue, is that you can use tariffs to fight this battle today, but China is willing to wait out this administration, frankly.
Well, I think that's the concern of the people that are up in arms right now. When you hear, the National Retail Federation or National Federation of Independent Businesses, when they're putting pressure, they're saying, hey, if China isn't moving, we can't just do this when it hits the American consumers because ultimately this will affect trade, but it is going to, in the short term, raise prices on consumer products that Americans are going to be buying, especially ahead of the holiday season this year.
Turning to Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation battle. So the Supreme Court nominee Kavanaugh set to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Monday, along with the woman accusing him of sexual assault back when they were teenagers in the early 80s. President Trump standing by his nominee's immaculate record. Listen to this, Kevin.
We'll go through a process and hear everybody out. I think it's important. I believe they think it's important. But again, he is one of the great intellects and one of the finest people that anybody has known. You look at his references, I've never seen anything quite like it.
Kevin, what do you expect out of these hearings on Monday? Because quite frankly, to paraphrase a Wall Street Journal editorial this morning, there is no way to confirm this woman's story after 36 years. And to let Mr. Kavanaugh's confirmation, to stop the confirmation would ratify what has all the earmarks of a calculated political ambush. What do you think?
Well, I think we've got to look at this entire picture. First of all, we've got to acknowledge, everybody has to acknowledge that sexual assault is always, always wrong. And that's why, even if a claim seems baseless, it's why we take them very seriously. So I think the move to have both testify is 100% the right move. My issue is not with the accuser, it's with Senator Feinstein and these tactics. The reality is this letter was delivered in July, and it was intentionally held until this moment to bring up. And that is where it seems like dirty partisan politics. And so I'm very impressed with the way that the Senate is handling this issue. I'm also just, quite frankly, impressed with the president's restraint. We know that his gut reaction is to punch back, to attack. And he's listening to advisors on this. He is not attacking the accuser. He's sticking by his nominee. And I think what happens on Monday is that they both testify. We probably aren't any closer, but any closer to real resolution. None of us know what really happened 35 years ago. But I think you're going to eventually see Brett Kavanaugh confirmed.
Kat Temp, what do you think?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, do you think that this will be delayed for how long? I mean, we have the midterms coming up, and if Dems take control of the Senate, then we could be dealing with an entirely different situation here.
Yeah, I trust that Mitch McConnell is going to find a way to squeeze this through. And I think ultimately, this is my belief. I believe the Democrats know that's going to happen. But what they're going to do is they're going to turn around and use in the midterm elections this issue coupled with President Trump's record, and they're going to use it against vulnerable GOP senators and congressmen to say that there is an ongoing war against women, that Republicans are part of this culture that's against women. And so this may not prevent them from keeping, or may not help Democrats keep Brett Kavanaugh off the Supreme Court, but it will 100% be a tactic they use in pushing a narrative against the GOP.
And if some Republican decides to vote against Brett Kavanaugh, it'll be interesting to see what the fallout would be for that senator come November, because, again, that is one of the major reasons that President Trump was elected to the White House: immigration and the Supreme Court nominees. I'll leave it at that. Kevin, thank you so much. Kevin Scott, great of you to get up so early for us this morning.